here's a jazz line that I just came up with. Now, believe it or not, that actually comes from the minor pentatonic scale. It comes from a D minor pentatonic scale. So how did I end up with that, starting with a minor pentatonic scale? Well, all I did was I added some chromatic approach notes. Now, I started looking at these last week in a video about the major scale and how you can make the major scale start to sound more like jazz by adding in some chromatic approach notes. So I started with just a plain simple D minor pentatonic scale, 1 octave. And I just messed up the notes a little bit, so I just rearranged the order of the notes like this. So it's already a little kind of pentatonic lick there, just simply by changing the order of the notes. Now, having got that, I then started to add in some chromatic approach notes. So what's a chromatic approach note? Well, the first note I'm playing there is the root note D. Now, a chromatic approach note would be going either 1 semitone below the D, C sharp, or 1 semitone above the D, D sharp, and then playing that before the line. So like this. Or. So what about if we started to add some more chromatic approach notes in there? So rather than just doing the first note, we'll take alternate notes. So we'll add a chromatic approach note before the first, the third, the fifth, the seventh, and the ninth note of that pattern. So we'll start on the C sharp to D, just the same way we did there. The next note is an A. The next note in the pattern, the third note, is an F. So we'll go from a semitone below the F. So we'll go E, F. Then it goes to a G, and the next note in the pattern is a C. So we'll add another chromatic approach note here. We'll go from the C sharp again, down to C. So far we've got this. Then carrying on the pattern, it went to A, and then to D, the root note again. This time we'll change it up and we'll go from a semitone above the root note, so we'll play E flat down to D. Then the pattern went to C, and finally the last note of the pattern was the A again, so we're going to go from a semitone below G sharp to A. So the whole pattern is this. So where could you use that? Well, you could use it anywhere where you'd use a D minor pentatonic scale. So you could use it on a D minor 7 chord, for example. Or you could use it on an F major chord, because D minor pentatonic is the same as F major pentatonic. It would sound like this. Or you could use it on a B flat major 7 chord. Or it would even work on an E flat major 7 chord. Or any number of other places where you could potentially use a D minor pentatonic scale. So these chromatic approach note ideas, they're simple ideas that can begin to get you sounding a bit more jazz in your lines. So try that out, and it doesn't just work with pentatonic scales, you can try it with almost any scale that you're practicing.